What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm gonna be taking you through a 4-exercise perfect beginner upper body routine. This is highly requested by all my beginners, and I promise you, this is a true beginner-friendly workout that should take you under an hour, and it's only 4 exercises with all the form tips, so let's go. All right, guys, exercise number 1 is gonna be 4 sets of 10 lat pull downs. Why would I consider this an amazing beginner upper body exercise? Because it's kind of like a little bit of a swap out from pull-ups, because obviously beginners, like pull-ups is like a whole like advanced intermediate realm over there, right? So lat pull downs is a great exercise to start, to build your lats, to build your upper back. And it's very doable for basically everybody because you can adjust the weight and everything, and I will run you through the form tips and cues as we go. But let's go. All right, guys, so I've kind of replaced the normal lat pull down bar with this one. If you find that your grip strength kind of gives out on lat pull downs, I highly suggest this grip if you have it available at your gym, or you could actually buy it on Amazon and carry it with you to the gym in your gym bag. But this is a great like grip if you struggle with like grip strength on lat pull downs, and it really helps with me like loading on heavier weight without losing my grip strength, if that makes sense. So I find this one awesome, and my mind muscle connection is on point with this grip. So let's go. All right, guys, form tip for lat pull downs for all my beginners. You want to imagine driving your elbows into your rib cage. So instead of like just dropping them like straight like this, just pretend you're driving them into your rib cage, and that'll really help you mind muscle connection with your lats and your upper back here. Okay, so drive your elbows into your rib cage and don't rush through the movement. So don't do this. Rush through the movement like this, or you're just like swinging like this and rushing through. No. No, don't do that. So you want to pull down, drive the elbows into your rib cage, and then slowly release up, but giving you that full stretch in your lats. Once you feel that full stretch in your lats, pull back down again. Slowly up without locking your elbows, then pull back down. So you feel that full stretch, but again, without locking your joints and without locking your elbows, and then pull back down. So you should feel that constant tension throughout the movement, because if you were to like, I know I'm saying full stretch, like go all the way up, but some people just like go all the way up like this, and then they like almost like shrug. That's when you're gonna lose the tension in your lats. Like, and you'll notice it. Like if you just do this and like let the weight drop up like that, you'll like completely lose all that tension here. So as I'm saying, like stretch all the way up and go to that full extension to a certain degree, like so that to the point that you can still feel that full stretch without locking or without shrugging. So like let it go like here, and then drive the elbows back down, and then let it go to the full maximum stretch, and then pull back down. Form tip. Exercise number 2 is gonna be dumbbell seated shoulder press for 4 sets of 10 reps, which is the nice sweet spot for reps. When you're doing anything that's like hypertrophy, you wanna be anywhere from like the 8 to 12 rep range. When you're doing anything strength, like trying to build like straight up strength, you wanna be anywhere from like the 2 to 6 rep range. And when you wanna do anything like high volume and just building strict lean muscle mass, almost like a little bit of like a hybrid of like cardio weightlifting type style, then you do anything 12 reps and more. This is like lean muscle mass. Like you're just like doing like strict high volume, like lighter weight, just going for like more so reps than anything. The sweet spot for hypertrophy, guys, is anywhere from 8 to 12 reps. So that's a little tip. So we're gonna do 4 sets of 10. Sweet hypertrophy range. For dumbbell seated shoulder press, you know that I am do you guys know what I'm gonna say? If you watch all my upper body videos, it's a Y press. You wanna think you're doing like a Y, like YMCA. You're not flaring, and I call it chicken wing arms. We're not doing chicken wing arms where we're all the way out here and dropping the weight. No, that's how you're gonna get tendonitis, guys. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna screw up the rotator cuff. We're gonna get tendonitis in the muscle because it's just like an uncomfortable and awkward position for your shoulders to dip with heavy weight, especially if you're going with heavy weight, right? So you wanna come in, bring those elbows in when you're pressing, so it's a more comfortable and natural and relaxed position for your shoulders to dip down in a Y position. And you're gonna come down just below 90 degrees. It's not bad if you hit 90 degrees, especially if you're trying to hit a PR, right? Like hitting 90 still counts as a rep. But typically when you're like repping things out, you wanna comfortably rep things out just dipping below 90 degrees on shoulder press, because that would be like that full stretch, that full range of motion, which we call ROM for short. Come in like a Y, dip just below 90 degrees, and then push up without locking your elbows. We're not locking like this, guys. Remember, no locking our joints. So we're gonna push up, to the full extension just before your elbows are about to lock out. So it's a full extension, but you're not locking your elbows like this, because you want to keep that entire tension in the muscle group that you're working throughout the entire movement. Therefore, don't lock your joints. And also locking your joints is bad for your joints. Okay, now let's run through the shoulder press. Okay guys, another form tip that I forgot to mention for all my beginners. Sometimes it can be easy to kind of like just set up your bench in whichever way you want and kind of place your feet and dilly-dally your feet however which way you want. So these are two really important cues that will help you excel your shoulder press, and they have actually nothing to do with the pressing movement itself. Pay attention, because this is good. So most people, I feel like when I was a beginner in the gym, aka I'm part of the most people, I had my bench set up 90 degrees like this, completely straight. When you do a 90-degree bench, think about how uncomfortable you feel. If you were to push weight back, especially if it's a heavier weight, you feel imbalanced. Like I feel like I would lean forward, like I'm gonna fall forward with the weight, because it's so 90 degrees that I can't properly lock my shoulders into the bench and like, you know, my rear delts and fully like push it into the back of the bench. You want to plant and push it firmly into the back of the bench when you're pressing and have it locked in there. But when you're 290 degrees, you feel like you're gonna lean forward. How are you supposed to like properly like stabilize yourself like sitting on the bench, right? So when you're shoulder pressing, oh, and then also when you do 90 degrees, it also tends to make you do chicken wing arms, because it's hard to do a Y press on 90 degrees, because again, it's so 90 that you feel like you would lean forward if you were to do a Y press. So people tend to do chicken wing press because it just feels better on a 90-degree bench, right? So how you want to bench is about a 65-degree angle. So it's not like a incline chest press, like we're still in an upright position, but you're sort of like leaned back more. And when you're leaned back more, you're in this like position where you're able to lock your shoulders into the bench and your upper back properly into the back of the bench. So when you push that heavy weight back, look, I feel no urge to like fall forward. I'm literally like chilling at the back of the bench right now. So if I were to be holding weight, I don't feel like I'm gonna tip forward because of that 65-degree angle of the bench. So once you put it 65 degrees, you also can take it from chicken wing arms to Y press arms. So set your bench up like that. And tip number 2, drive the shoulder press movement through your feet. So I used to do this all the time, where I'd be like on my tippy toes, or like I'd have my feet out here, or I'd have them up here like this, and just like fooling around with my feet the whole time. And not to say that's bad, because that means like if your feet are like just dilly-dallying, that means all the strength is literally just coming from your strict pressing, which is awesome. That means your shoulders are so strong, you don't need any drive from your feet. But when you get into the heavier weight, right, the heavier and heavier you go, you'll find that you really need to like drive everything from your heels, from your feet, to help you drive that movement up. It's still a strict press, but the proper technique to a full shoulder press, like a seated shoulder press, you want your feet planted on the ground so that it kind of like unintentionally helps you drive that weight up. So you're driving through your feet, especially on those last few reps, and it drives through your glutes and it helps you push that weight up. Try those two things, and I promise you, you'll feel so much better with your shoulder pressing. You'll excel in it. Exercise number 3 is going to be a superset. We're gonna do 3 sets of the superset. It's going to be 10 dumbbell flat bench press. Put those dumbbells to the side, no rest in between, right into 10 dumbbell skull crushers with a lighter set of dumbbells. With dumbbell flat chest press, a safe way to kick it back, guys. Again, like a shoulder press, you're gonna kick the one dumbbell up, kick the next dumbbell up, and lay back, and let them swing back. I know it can be really intimidating. It's not the most comfortable movement to like swing the weights back. It's very scary because it's something heavy flying back on you, but I promise this is a very like foolproof method to like kick the dumbbells back. Some people do 2 at a time, and that helps, or some people do 1. And then you just let it rest here, and then you get it up. So let's run through that. Again, guys, Y press, we're not doing chicken wing arms. We're not gonna bench press like this. We're gonna bring those elbows down like this, and we're gonna inwards, like Y. Like a Y. It's gonna help you target your chest muscles better than doing a flare like this. This is actually like more strenuous on your chest and more strenuous on your shoulders as well. And then when you're doing a flat bench press, you wanna have a slight arch under your back here. So not something like aggressive, okay, unless you're a power lifter. Powerlifting is a whole different realm. Guys, we're not power lifters. We're just like the average people. Okay, so a slight arch in your back is fine, that's great, but you don't want a fully flat back. A fully flat back, that's not how you bench press. So if people are giving you basically for arching your back, they shouldn't be doing that. You should be arching your back a little bit. Your glutes should still be planted on the bench. Glutes planted on the bench, slight arching your back to help you drive that weight up, but nothing over exaggerated, and no glutes off the bench, glutes on the bench. And you're gonna take the weight when you flat bench, and you're gonna dip just below 90 degrees to get, again, that full ROM, that range of motion. So dip just below 90 and then come up. Dip just below 90 and then come up. Okay, now we can run through it. Exact same as shoulder press, you wanna drive through your heels. I used to make this mistake constantly until like, I've been like going to the gym for like 7-ish years now. And until about 2 or 3-ish years ago, I only like figured out, because my boyfriend told me, plant your feet down. Because I used to have my feet like just like wobbling around, and I was like getting frustrated because I was like trying to hit heavy weight and I was like plateauing. And he's like, try planting your feet, because that's like the proper technique. You need to plant your feet into the ground and like drive it through your glutes. I know it's kind of funny because it's an upper body movement, but when you plant your feet into the ground and drive through your heels, it drives through your glutes. That's why I said glutes planted on the bench. And it'll help you get that heavy weight up. And then I was able to like surpass that plateau when I wasn't, when my feet were like wobbling around before. So feet planted on the ground, drive through your heels, drive through your glutes, you'll get that weight up. So now you're gonna just toss those dumbbells to the side right after you do your 10 reps of the chest press, and you're gonna get your lighter set of dumbbells just beside it, and you're gonna go right into the dumbbell skull crushers. So we're targeting our chest and our triceps right into one superset. Again, that's why I love supersets, because we're kind of like getting the best of both worlds. We're hitting multiple muscle groups in crunch time. So we're gonna hit our triceps now right after we do our chest press. So you're gonna take the light dumbbells, again, glutes planted into the bench, slight arch in your back, feet planted flat on the ground. You're gonna take the dumbbells above your head like this, beside your head actually, and you're gonna dip your elbows down like this and drive up, fully extend, okay? So keep your arms still. The only thing that's kind of moving is your elbows to let those dumbbells drop by your earlobes. Nice and slow and controlled movement here. We're not rushing through it. You should feel that full tension and lactic acid building up in your triceps. Exercise number 4, our last exercise of the day. And you guys know, if you know, you know, I don't count supersets as 2 exercises. I count them as 1, okay? So hence it's our 4th one, even though we're doing 2 exercises in this one. So we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 seated rows right into 10 lateral raises or AMRAP, as many reps as possible for the lateral raises to burn out the delts. Okay, so we're hitting back and we're hitting delts, a pull and a push movement. Best of both worlds. Perfect, well-rounded upper body day routine, done within 45 minutes to 50 minutes. You guys are in and out of the gym just under an hour. Let's do it. When it comes to seated rows, this is a plate-loaded machine. So obviously you're probably looking at this like, I don't have this machine at my commercial gym. It's okay, I go to commercial gyms too. I don't have plate-loaded machines usually, and it's usually just the cable seated rows. So still targeting the main muscle groups, your mid-back, okay? So just get your cable seated rows and you'll be good. You don't need the plate loaded rows. It's whatever you have available at your gym. If you have this, great. If you have the cable loaded rows, good too. Again, full extension here. You see this, that I'm almost kind of curving on this one. That's fine because I'm letting my lats fully stretch here. And then I'm gonna pull back. Let your lats fully stretch and then pull back. Same with the cable seated row. I know there's not this chest piece in front of you on cable machines usually, but still, I would let my upper body lean forward all the way to get that full stretch before I pull back. Okay, now you do your 10 reps right into your 10 dumbbell lateral raises. We're targeting our delts here. If you know me, there's nothing I love more than a juicy set of delts. So of course we had to throw this in here into the perfect upper body day routine because it wouldn't be a perfect upper body day without lateral raises. That's just my opinion. Okay, so again, you guys always know that I say when it comes to lateral raises, no ego lifting. Toss the big weight aside. If you're gonna swing or you're gonna use momentum to get all those reps up, that's not good. Throw the heavy, It's rolling away. Throw the heavy weight to the side, and you'd rather do lighter weight and higher volume with this, if that makes sense. You kind of want to like you want to isolate your shoulders in this movement completely. So no ego lifting, no heavy weight, because when you do that, then you're overcompensating with other muscles, even your traps, if you're shrugging, to get that weight up. So it's not an isolation movement anymore. It's become like something else. It's become like a compound movement, because now you're like using momentum, you're using your traps to get the weight up. We don't want that. We want to isolate our delt caps here. We want that like really nice capped delt. So you want to roll your shoulders back, okay? Keep your core very tight and lift the weight just about eye level. Just about eye level is where we're gonna raise the dumbbells. So not up here, not here. So this would be too short of a range of motion. This is ridiculously high. We've lost all the tension up above this. Eye level is the perfect range of motion. Up, eye level, and then dip, okay? Again, why? Not T, why? When it comes to my push days, I can't stress enough how important it is to think why. YMCA, and most of the things that you are doing, why? So Y raise here, not a T raise. It's just a more natural movement for your shoulder to be in. It doesn't really strain or feel strenuous on your shoulders or your rotator cuff when you do like things like chicken wingy or T-shaped, you know what I mean? Just do a Y movement, and it's just like so much more easy of a movement on your shoulders, if that makes sense. Just gonna prevent injury and tendonitis overall. Okay, now that my spiel's done, let's jump into it. Thank you. All right, guys, that concludes today's 4-exercise perfect beginner upper body routine for all my beginners that have been requesting this. So you're hitting 4 exercises, just under an hour, so it shouldn't take you super long, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more beginner upper body routines or beginner lower body or full body routines, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to post that for you guys. But see you in the next one.